Hi, my name's Joey Tangaloa Taualii. We're here to discuss the real 501 situations that's happening here and the predicament we're in. Today's guest, I've got Gus Kuster. Is that right, Gus?
Yep.
Yep. I've got Gus Kuster with me and Sam Abraham. So yeah, I'll get the guys to introduce themselves. So thank you for tuning in, guys. Go on.
No worries.
Hi,
Yeah.
I'm Gus Kuster. I was born in Solomon Islands, but came to Australia when I was 3. I've been here for 40 years. My father's Australian. I've been in detention since 2018. I served a 12-month sentence and spent triple that already here. I've also gone back to Papua New Guinea. I signed, but when I got to Papua New Guinea, the government wouldn't let me stay in the country because they said I wasn't their citizen, so they brought me back here. I believe I'm Australian because I've been here all my life since I was 3, done all my schooling, working, paid taxes. All my family's here, and my great-grandfather fought in World War in Gallipoli. He was born in New South Wales. In Australia here, born here. So my grandfather was born in New South Wales, fought World War II. So half my family's Australian, and this is what they do to us.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Sammy, you want to introduce yourself, and yeah, then we'll come back with a round of questions, huh?
Yeah, my name is Sam Abraham. I've been here for 50 years. I came here like when I was 5 years old. All I know is Australia. I don't know my country. I wasn't even born there. They say I was registered in Syria, but I was actually born in Lebanon. And I done my jail, and I come to detention in 2019, and they canceled my visa in 2016. I've been on revocation ever since. They won't give me an answer. The first answer was corrupted by a case manager. She got me an answer with Peter Dutton's signature on the paperwork in 2 days. And even a lawyer said, that's corruption. So anyway, we went along with it. They made a federal court date from February to 20. It went all the way to December. So I asked my lawyer to send it back. They sent it back to September, and the minister accepted he made an error of law. So then it went back to revocation again. And again, from then until now, from 220 until now, they wouldn't give me an answer. And we had to force them to give an answer. And when we told them we're going to put a mandamus in, they decided to give me an answer straight away. And they said, oh, we're going to go by what the old minister said. But it wasn't a minister that made the decision to begin with. It was a case manager.
So basically, tell me, what you're saying is that, yeah, you're stuck here indefinitely, is what you're saying.
So I'm stuck here indefinitely because they don't want me to have a court date, which now I've got federal court hearing, which is it's not actually the real hearing. It's like what you call, they're just gonna proceed to see what court date they're gonna give me. And it's taken so long. I said, I need the federal court to make a decision on my application. Don't send it back again. I'm not a yo-yo.
Yeah.
They're playing around with my life.
All right. Hey, sorry to interrupt, guys, but listen, what I'm going to focus on, if I interrupt you, it's because we have to focus on these discussions. So the discussions I'm going to ask you is this: why should people out there support us? Why should people say, all right, they're 501s, they've been to jail. Why should people out there support us? That we should be freed out into the community. And I'll ask you first, Gus, to answer, and then Sam after that, please.
Yeah. Well, we all make mistakes. No one's perfect, and I believe that we've served our time, and it's kind of like double punishment now. We serve the time for what we've done, and then we're doing more time, which is which is not right. You know, like we all have strong ties to this country, and for that gives us a big reason why we should stay here. Like most of us have been here all our lives. We have children, we have mothers, fathers, aunties, uncles, sisters, brothers, you know, so it's not like that. And I'm sure this goes the same with the refugees as well. Like, you know, they also have people here that support them and want them to be here. They're people that are fleeing a country that, you know, from war-torn countries that, you know, they're just trying to survive. They want a new life, and they come to Australia because Australia is supposed to be the land of, you know, freedom, and it's not happening. And even just what they're doing now, like they're gone against everything that what Australia was made of in the start. Like it's a multicultural country, and everyone's forgetting all about that and trying to go to this other place, which is more of a Nazi regime sort of thing. Like this is not us. This is not what Australia is about. And you know, like I said, we've all got strong ties here, and I believe that it gives us the right to stay and to be with our families.
Yeah. Thank you, Gus. Sebi, can you answer that question, please? Why should people support us? Why should people go, all right, these guys, they're ex-criminals, obviously, and not all of us. So that's, you know, so why should people support us, Sammy?
Well, I agree 100% with what Gus said. We are a product of Australia. We spent all our lives here. We went to schools here. They brought us up here. We all make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. As you can see in the parliament, look at all the mistakes they make. And they're not held accountable for it. But us, we make one little mistake and we go to jail for it. Fair enough. We've gone to jail. We paid our price, all right, to society. We were punished in jail. And then we're supposed to be released to our family. But instead, they detain us and they say, no, we're going to throw you out. We're going to separate you from your children and your grandchildren and your mothers and fathers and aunties and cousins, and you're never going to see them again. That is not, that's inhumane. That is not right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That is not Australian. Australia has never been that way until this government came in, these liberal governments that have come in and have tortured the refugees. I'll mention refugees because they're innocent people that fled war-torn countries. They punished them for 10 years, would not allow them into the community, all right? And now Scott Morrison, because he wants to win the votes, he's released them. Oh, look what I've done. But what have you done in the last 10 years?
Yeah.
You punished them, and now you want to win the votes, so you want to release them now. These poor people, I think they would have had a better chance to stay in the country where they came from and at least try and survive a war instead of being caged up and tortured. And a lot of them lost their lives. Here in Melbourne, at least 5 have died. Okay, around Australia and offshore,
we'll get that. We'll get to that, Sammy. We'll come back to that, Sammy. You know, because I just want to try and keep it focused. What we're doing. You know, I get what you're saying about the government and what's happening to refugees around the world and that. But what I want to ask is how, you know, to both of you is how are you feeling? And I'll start off with you, Gus. How do you feel, and how do you feel? What your family are going through? You know.
Oh, the way I'm not in a good state mentally. I'm not well, and I haven't been for a long time, like for years now. My family is struggling. They can't seem to understand what's going on. They just can't believe what's going on. Like how they're doing this to us, how they're holding us here. It's not only me that they're worried about. They're worried about everyone. They're like, my mum, she loves everybody, and what she sees and the way she sees of what's going on with me, she knows it's going on with everybody else, and it's not good. Like my mum gets sick, and like I'm traumatized now with what's happened with me, and even just watching the guys around me with their mental issues and watching them mentally lose themselves is something that it's unforgivable what's happening. And you know, people got to be held responsible for it because it's inhumane and you can't do that to people. It's just not right. It's so wrong in so many ways, and someone's got to be held responsible for it. No one seems to want to. Well, no one's getting to know what's going on because the media is blocking everything, and they're getting told lies out there in the Australian community and other places. And I know that people are starting to pick it up, and the more we share this, the more everyone gets to know what's really going on in this kind of place.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Sammy, in regards to your family and yourself, Sammy, tell me a little bit how you're feeling and how your family, what they're going through.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen my son in 11 years. Now he's 11 years old. He was like 3 months old when I got locked up. And I spoke to him when I got to detention because I got a phone. So I actually seen him, and he doesn't really know me, but you know, he knows I'm his father. And he always asked me when I was in prison, Dad, when you coming home? I said, son, very soon I will be released. And now he's given up on asking because he doesn't think I'm ever going to come home. You know, he was asking me at the age of 5 years old, when are you coming home? I said, it'll be next year, son. He goes, oh, that's a long time, Dad. Now he's 11. He doesn't even bother asking because he doesn't think I'm ever coming home. And my daughter, she's 14 years old. And I've got an older daughter. She's 25. All right. They've all lost hope. My whole family are destroyed. My brothers and sisters. You know, my mum passed away when I was in jail. That destroyed me, destroyed my health. But I was still strong enough when I was in jail. Then when I came to detention, I've done 8 years in jail. I was fine. When I come to detention, it's destroyed my health. They don't feed you right. They don't treat you right.
No,
You
no
know,
worries.
and
We'll
been a
touch on the
team
food
leader.
we'll touch
Yeah,
on
I've
the
been a
food in a
team.
minute, Sammy, you know? We'll come back to
Yeah,
the food.
not about the food. I've been a team leader for, you know, every detention center that I've been to. All right. And I've helped a lot of people stop from taking their lives. I've spoken to them. A lot of people that have had health issues, the doctors will not help them. I've made petitions. I've spoken to ABF, and ABF said you need signatures. I got over 300 signatures from the detainees to remove a doctor that would not give him painkillers. And I did the right thing. And what do? ABF, they remove me because I was trying to help people out. They didn't like that. So they removed me to Brisbane. They put me in Brisbane and they destroyed my health completely. The food in Brisbane, as Gus knows, is very bad. Very poor.
Yeah.
It's
Well, I
very
just
poor.
want to say thank you, Sammy. I was going to say, obviously, Sammy and I, we're in MITA, which is Melbourne Immigration Transit Accommodation. And Gus, you're in BITA, which is Brisbane Immigration Transit Accommodation. Can you tell us a little bit about up there, Gus, what's happening up there, how people are, how people have been treated?
Well, yeah, I was with you guys at MITA, and I came here for some visits to my family not long ago. Still haven't got them, but the conditions here are even worse than MITA. They're I mean, it's so horrible up here. The food is just it's poor food. There's no love in it. I don't know how they're doing or who's cooking this food, but all the boys are complaining, and you know, that in itself gives you more of a mental issue, you know, when it comes to food and you can't get the right food, and it's not good. It's mentally disturbing, and like there's guys fighting, you know, because of food, because they want more food or the food to be cooked
Gus,
properly.
are you saying, Gus, that when you go up for seconds, there's no seconds, or there's just not enough food, or what's...
Well, we only get one serving of one kind of meat here, not like we do in Melbourne, where we can choose from the whole Bay Marie. But here, it's different. Like, I don't understand why they're making it different from here than to you guys, you know, like, so, I mean, yes. And also we have run out of food, and there's boys been waiting, like they've been waiting over there for them to get more food, while the rest of us, the first lot of us got the food. The last lot never got anything. So it's happened. I've seen it with my own eyes since I've been here. This is only in the last couple of weeks. So
What about
It is
access to,
outrageous. The amount of money they're spending on us, we can't even get proper food here.
yeah, what about
He's,
access
he's,
to,
he's speaking 100% because when I was up there, 7 guys used to miss out on meals, Joey. They won't give us seconds. With the seconds, they recook it again and they make it these stews that are putrid because I'm a chef. I know what food is. Now, the food was making people go to the toilet 5 times a day. We're all getting food
Well,
poisoned.
yep, I get it. What
It
we
is.
need to do then is we need
Yeah.
to document or even get video footage. Is there other guys that were willing to come on and do videos with like this?
Yeah, I can talk to the guys. At the moment, I'm in the quarantine facility in a red zone, they call it, just out of in Brisbane somewhere, because I ended up going to hospital on Sunday night. But even here now with the food, I've had big arguments with them because they give you a menu, they don't bring what it's supposed, what you tick to get. But at the same time, the food's coming here. It's the same food I've been getting, the same rice, the same veggies, all in Chinese containers, cold, like every day. It's the same, and I don't even know if it's fresh. I don't think
it's
it's fresh at all.
almost
Because,
it's almost like us that they've cooked all this, pre-cooked it, and then packaged it and said, "I week 1, week 2." Do you know what I mean?
yeah, but it's not right. You can't do that. You know, they can't give us food like that that's been sitting in the fridge for how many days. It's not right.
Yeah.
We should
Let
be
me
getting
tell
fresh
you,
meals.
let me interrupt for a sec. Let me tell you what a doctor told me here. He said, Sam, when you go to a restaurant or when you eat at home, the food is up there. He said in detention center, it's all the way down there, the lowest grade of food you can ever get. And that's a
It's
doctor
true
telling
because-
me.
It's true
Yeah.
because we see in the fruits that we get and the salads that we get, even when we're at the center, it's rotten.
Yeah.
You know, well, I've shown you guys, you many a times, and I've shown the boys here in Brisbane. I've even said to the ABF staff that look at this. This is old. This is like it's starting to rot.
Yeah.
They're giving
You
us
know
stuff
what? You know
like
what
that.
we need to do is we need to take photos of this and send it to the Red Cross. The Red Cross were here this morning, and this. So not only do we have glass found in food here, Sammy, we had glass. What else, Sammy? You
I found rocks inside the sausages. Gus was sitting next to me and Karma.
yeah.
And I pulled
Yeah.
out the rock and I showed it
Yeah.
to him and I dropped it on the table. It was a full-on black rock. And I went and showed the chef and they done nothing about it. All they did, they said, oh, we're going to change the supplier. I
Yeah.
got sick for
Yeah.
5 days.
I've been there.
5 days I was sick, spewing up, diarrhea. 5 other guys in the compound got sick. One of them had to go to hospital spewing up blood.
Yeah.
That's from the food.
Well,
Alright.
every time
the food-
something like this happens, we need to it needs to be
We've
documented.
done videos, Joey. We've done videos in the past. I've taken photos of rotten potatoes. A potato
If
that's
you've got
gone
videos,
green.
If you've got
We've
videos,
done all that.
send me the
Yeah, I've
videos
got,
and I'll
I've
send
got
them.
the videos. Yeah,
Because we've got to send them to the Red Cross. The Red Cross was here today, and because
I know.
there was flies found in the food down in South yesterday.
But let me
Mm.
say something about the Red Cross, Joey. We've spoken to them in the past, as Gus knows. Okay, they come in, they take your complaints, this and that, but nothing happens. They're
Well,
all in on it together, brother.
Hopefully, Sammy. There's someone that's not in on it, and then hopefully there's someone out there that can help us by sharing these videos out. You know, hopefully
That's
someone.
right. It's only the public that can help us. All right. None of these people that work for Serco, Red Cross, ERTs, ABF, they're all in on it together, and they torment you in detention. They play games with you to play with your head to force you out.
Yeah.
All right. It's all a game. I've
Well,
worked it out in the last 3.5 years. It's happened.
yeah. Well, Gus, what about some of the guys in there where you are? Like, how are they feeling? Is there women there too, Gus? Is any family there?
No, there's. I see the women come in. They must be at the motel, so I see them bringing them in to walk around. They do it every day, so they must be their little bit of exercise. I think it's not much of a walk for the girls I see, but they bring him into their little where we have visits, but not in the visits, just the outside part. where it's, you know, locked, like caged up, fenced around, and they let them walk for a few hours of the day before they take them back. So I'm guessing they're at the motel because they don't have a facility to hold them the way that MITA does.
Yeah.
Um,
And what about there in regards to if there's issues, you've got like mental health issues or medical, do you have to fill out a form? Is it along the same lines as here?
It is, and it's very long. This centre in Brisbane is not quite as advanced as MITA, and the staff there is less of staff, and it's harder to, if there is a you have a problem in the compound, which I've just learnt recently, that if you put in they want you to put in a request form, and they tell you to put it in the box, which won't get seen to by the next day. And, you know, at the time, your problem's happening that day. It's not a very healthy thing for them to be doing.
Might be a bit too late for some.
That's right. Well, there's a guy in there in our compound that screams out every day, and he is not himself. But they keep him with us. You know, we try to keep him calm, but he should be in a better place where he can get the help that he needs. He's not in the right place. And I've brought that up with them, the ABF, the other DCC meeting, and they said, oh, we look at every case and we make sure we check everybody to see if they're right. And then they don't, you know, like they're letting people in that are not supposed to be there, which needs to go to a proper mental health hospital. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm fine, or Sam's fine, or Joey, you're fine, or anybody else is fine, because where we are, we're already in a state of, it's different to everybody else outside. You know, like we've got a mental issue because of this place. You know, we're mentally scarred.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're destroyed.
Yeah,
That's
can
it.
you
and there's nothing to fix that. You know?
yeah, can you add to that, Sammy, about us here? So that's coming from Gus in BITA. Do you want to add to the medical? You know, talk about the medical here in
BITA.
MITA?
All right. Well, when I was in BITA, like he said, you put in medical request forms.
I'm talking about MITA, Sammy.
Oh.
I'm talking about MITA. Yeah.
MITA.
Yeah.
All right. Well, in MITA here, there's a lot of nurses that weren't qualified for the job. And I put in a complaint to the parliament. I said, these nurses have got fake paperwork. And you know what? They got rid of at least 15 nurses that I have not seen again. Because when I used to go to medical, I call them Uber drivers. That's what they are. They've got fake paperwork. They're not proper nurses.
You know, Sammy, can you
Panadol.
listen? Let me just hone it back in. I'll tell you why. Because when you talk like that, have you got proof that they're not? Have you got proof?
The proof that I've got when I was in jail, as you know,
No, but I'm talking about here. The proof. Have you got any proof that these people aren't qualified at all here in detention?
Well, when I was
that's why I'm saying that there's some things that we stray from the subject.
The proof that I've got is when I was sick, the doctor and the nurses kept coming and seeing me, and I was shaking, and I said, I need antibiotics. They said, no, just keep drinking water. For 5 days, I was just drinking water, no food. All right, I couldn't eat. So I said, I'm going to report you all because it's all fake nurses working under fake documents. You know what they did? Straight away, they took me to the doctor and he gave me antibiotics. But when I reported them to the parliament, all those nurses were gone because they found them to be not proper qualified nurses. That's how I know.
Can I ask you, Sammy, who found them not to be proper qualified nurses?
The investigators.
Who's the investigators?
The Health Commission.
So the Health Commission got back to you, because if that's the case, we want people to know, we want people out there to know that, hey, all right, the Health Commission came in and investigated and nothing was done. You know, I mean, besides get rid of them.
I've been in contact with the Health Commission. When I call the Parliament, they give me the number or they put me straight through to Greg Hunt's office. I've complained to him, to the Attorney General, Governor General, then they put me to the inquiry. It's called Health Department. I've complained to them about nurses, and they've done the investigation, and I found so many nurses that I call Uber drivers that were sacked.
Yeah.
Now, another thing, I had 5 doctors approve of my dietary foods because I haven't eaten for 6 months. I had HMS manager, her name's Amanda. She came in waving a paper at me saying, Sam, I got it approved for you. I said, thank you so much. You know what happened? A week later, they sacked her and they didn't give me the dietary foods. So for 6 months, I have not eaten. Gus knows what I'm like. In Brisbane, I didn't eat for 12 months because their food was so bad. It's so bad. You know, you look at here, Melbourne, and you think you got great food here. But compared to Brisbane, what Gus is saying, it is the most putrid food. You would not feed it to your dog because your dog will look at you in a funny way. I'm telling you.
So yeah, let me add to that. So for me, when we say bad food, what I mean by bad food is the food here. First of all, there's not enough meat, and then the things that they put out there, it's like they put it out there for themselves. You know what I mean? It's like they cook to take it home. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing really. I don't know if you find what do you think about that? You know?
Well,
Yeah,
let
of
me
course.
tell you something. The food, being a chef for 40 years, I know what good quality food is and what fresh food is. Okay? When you work in restaurants, you must provide fresh food, otherwise people will not come back. All right?
Yeah,
Now, this food here, ABF has made it clear it's been frozen before it gets cooked. So this food is very old. It's a year, 2 years old. Because I
but
can
there's
tell
never
the
enough.
smell. Huh?
Hang on.
But there's never enough. There's never
And
enough
there's never
food
enough.
anyway in the first place. You know, like
Have you noticed where you are, Gus, the chicken stinks when you smell it?
we can't
It's
even
got a
get a
very
proper
bad
portion
smell
of
to it.
food.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Can't even get a
One at
proper
time.
portion of,
Go
we
on.
can't
Go
even
on,
get a
Gus.
proper portion. Yeah, we can't even get a proper portion of food, and they're feeding us like we're little kids. You know, like we're grown men.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
and the food, the way it's coming is like, I don't know what they think they're doing. Like it's
Even
You know what they said when I was there, Joey?
yeah.
They said, we can't give you seconds because of the COVID. I said, what's the COVID got to do with having seconds? So what they do is they hide their seconds and they recook it. And this chef, that he doesn't know what he's doing, he makes it into a stew and he puts gherkins into a stew. He can't put gherkins into a stew. And he puts all these curries and sauces. And when you eat it, you know, you want to throw up.
Yeah, look,
And you have diarrhea, bro. It's very bad for you.
look, I do find that the what they make up is very odd. Like I said the other day about chicken and tomato, I found that real weird. I just find a lot of things here. What they make, it's like they prepare it for someone else. It's like it's prepared for someone else, or they don't really give a damn, you know. And when you go up to ask for seconds, it's a big drama here in MITA. It's like they look at you funny, depending on who you get. And the longer you're here, so, you know, some people will notice and recognize you and go, all right, I'll look after him. But not everyone, you know, guys come here and you can see that they're hungry and starving. But
People are arguing with the chefs all the time. They want food. They say, give us some food.
yeah, that
They
goes
don't
on all
want
the
to feed
time.
it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, 100%. There's a lot of fights have happened inside the kitchen
Plenty.
because they're
plenty
not
of
feeding
fights.
them. They don't want to feed them. Why not?
And
Well, you know,
and Sammy, in your time in BITA, did you see fights in that over the food and that?
well, let me tell you something. I don't drop names, but there was a guy that used to go in there, which I fully respect. He used to fight with the kitchen, the guy that serves you the food. And he used to say to him, give me some more food. Put some food on the thing. And the guy refused. No, I don't want to give you only one portion. All right. Now, when I was up there, I found the big piece of plastic in my food and it ruined my tooth. The same day, a guy found a cockroach in the food. The other day, another guy found hair in the food. They took
Yeah,
photos.
so
All right.
we need
Everything
to
was
document all
documented.
this, eh?
It was all documented, Joey.
Yeah.
We showed ABF. I went to the meeting. I said to ABF, will you come and eat this food? She goes, yeah, we try it every day. I said, you're a liar. I said, come here and eat it for a week. She goes, all right, I will. You know
Yeah.
what? She didn't turn up. They
Right.
lied.
Well, Gus, what we're going to do, because we've only got a couple of minutes left, Gus, but when we come back, we want you to talk about your story, you know,
Yeah.
so you can talk about your whole story. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Sammy, if you want to, you're welcome to join, or you're welcome just to sit out. But I want to do the same with you, Sammy, yeah? Where it's just one-on-one where you can talk about your whole story, and that way there's no interruption. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gus needs to actually tell his full story, because Gus's story is amazing,
Yep.
because he should be let out 1,000,000%. With what they did to Gus is unforgettable and unforgivable, and it is fully wrong. All right. So Gus should be a citizen.
Well, what I'm going to do then,
done.
what I'm
Yeah.
going to do then, Sammy, is me and Gus will just do the interview. Yeah, Sammy?
Just to do the interview.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Now I've said enough, but let me say a couple more things.
Well,
is-
we've got a couple of minutes left, Sammy, so wrap it up, please.
All right, quickly. IBF are very bad. They control everything that goes on here, and they teach them to torture us. All right, they're behind it. Her name is Jenny Green. In Younger Hill, her name is Brown. Forgot her name. Sharon Brown. All right, she had me removed because I had things on her that she lied about and corruption. Again in Brisbane, IBF removed me because I had things on them, racism. They removed me. So whenever you got something against them, they'll remove you. You know what I mean? And I got a phobia of flying. They forcibly removed me. They destroyed my health. I'm traumatized.
Yeah.
Gus knows me from when I first came in. I was never like this.
Yeah.
And you knew me when I was in jail. I was never like
Never.
this.
You're always fit and healthy. But
But
listen,
now I'm
Sammy,
destroyed.
yeah. Well, look, we've got a minute left, Sammy, so I'm going to wrap it up.
All right.
Thank you, Sammy, for jumping on. But Sammy, we're not finished. We've still got heaps more of these to do, Sammy. But what I was going to do though is say Gus and I, so Gus can get his story out, because people want to listen to the individual story. And look, we'll just talk about the Senate now.
You do that, you and Gus, and I'll step out.
Yeah, so
And,
like I say, I'll wrap it up. And but Gus, in regards to your story, we'll do another Zoom. We'll jump on there and we'll pump it out. But
Today or
no, we're going to go straight away.
Oh,
I'll
right,
upload this. It'll take me about 2-3 minutes, and then I'll start the same meeting again, another meeting. But thanks.
all right, I just want to say goodbye to everybody that's watching and supporting us. We love you all, and we appreciate your help to all the protesters. Joey's friends, all the protesters, Izzy Brown, and
David
so many
Glantz,
people.
Izzy Brown,
David Glantz, yes, all those
Ollie
protesters.
Guano,
They're all lovely people.
Chloe
They all
DS.
come in. They all come in
3CR
and
Radio.
they risk their life. They risk their life to fight for us. Thank you so much, and much love to all of you.
Thank you, Sammy.
Take care.
Thank you, brother.